Hey there, internet pals. I'm answering some questions that were sent to me by people on Tumblr. So that's what we're gonna do now. I have them written down. Also behind me is a sheet tucked up over my window because the sun happens, and fuck that. My first question from Rowan Dadbot is, why are you so cute to me? Which I think is very nice, and also considering the last time I did one of these, they asked me why I was so gay. So I think we're definitely like, I don't know if that's an improvement or not actually, but you know, it's like character development throughout our relationship, I think. Additionally, Rowan asks, out of the characters in my webcomic, who would be the best at arm wrestling? Which I think it would be Maria, because she's jacked and scary. DDR would probably be Milo because he's a weird asshole. Although I could also see Daniel being like one of those like really weeby, embarrassing teenagers who spends like a lot of time at Japanese malls. It's like, it's not a very flattering like headcanon, but yeah, I could very much see him being one of those teenagers. So if he was, which he probably would be in like a modern AU, which is like scathing, but if he was, he would be really, really good at DDR, and it would just like be kind of awful. Directions. Probably Alice. I feel like she's good at like practical sort of things like that. She doesn't know a lot about practical things, but she's theoretically good at them. And what they would all be like drunk. Alright, well, I think Milo's like often drunk. Like he's drunk for like most of the comic. He's got some stuff. I feel like Alice would be like a huge lightweight, and it would just be like really embarrassing, and she would think she was drunk before she actually was, but it'd be like a placebo effect, so she got like, it would be like kind of awful. I don't think Daniel would really like drinking that much, because he's got some pretty bad mental health shit going on at like the best of times. So I feel like he probably wouldn't enjoy it that much. Although if he did, and it managed to not suck, I feel like he would just be like very enthusiastic and talk about things that other people are like, I don't really know what you're talking about. You're talking about like your Pacific Rim fan theories, but like, cool, you're so excited and like flustered about your Pacific Rim fan theories, so that'd be cool. I don't know what Maria would be like drunk. I feel like she's very guarded. She's a very guarded person, so if she was drunk, it would be a disaster, and she would probably punch everyone or like kiss people on the cheek, and then like they would use it against her as blackmail forever, because it'd be like really embarrassing that she showed affection to anyone ever. The next question is, which Magic the Gathering characters I would bone from Tumblr user Science Princep. Vraska, because she's a Gorgon, and Ashiok because they are an agender nightmare monster without a face, and like, whew, that gets my blood pumping. The next question, in a similar vein, from Sarah Thrandelf, is which one of her OCs I would want to bone the most. Which I think might be Napo, now that I've been like converted to being an orc fucker. Like I feel like at first I was like, psh, but then like slowly over time it's become more of a legitimate thing that I understand, and now I feel like Nabo actually may be at the top of the pile for me. You live, you learn, you want to fuck orcs more. It's just part of growing up and becoming an adult. And my final question is between mummies and swamp things, which are scarier and which are sexier. I think probably swamp things for both of those, because I feel like mummies like suck. Like they just suck. Like they're not sexy because they're just like wrapped in toilet paper. Like, what's going on there? Nothing. Whereas like Swamp Thing, like, have you read Swamp Thing by Alan Moore? Like, I'm just saying, I would fuck the Swamp Thing and Swamp Thing. I'm getting it out there. I say things others won't. You know what? It's fine. Yeah, and they're also scary. Like, I don't know, I feel like if you're, like, in a swamp, you know, that always sucks. Swamps, they're spooky. And then, like, the Swamp Thing, and you're like, shit. You know, like, that's a problem. That's something you gotta deal with. So, like, that would be scary. Whereas, like, mummies are just, like, slow, and you're like, what? I don't know. I feel like you'd, like, trip a mummy, because, like, they can't see. Like, what do mummies even do if they catch you? Do they just, like, slow dance with you? I don't know. I don't know what they do. Mummies suck. Swamp Things are pretty cool. Swamp Thing by Alan Moore was both good and, like, vaguely attractive. You know what? It's fine. I think I got all of them. So, yeah, if you sent me a question and I didn't get it, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Goodbye.